Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. Holly the Phantom Photographer. The Isle of Wight had always held a certain allure for Holly Arnold, a seasoned photographer known for capturing the unseen. Her portfolio brimmed with ethereal landscapes, shadowed ruins, and spectral silhouettes that seemed to dance just beyond the edge of perception. But it wasn't until a fog-draped morning in late October that her camera would reveal something far more profound and terrifying than she had ever imagined. Holly had arrived on the island the previous day, drawn by tales of its haunted history. The old churchyard at St. Helens was her first stop, its gravestones leaning with age and ivy creeping over inscriptions long withered away. She set up her tripod, adjusting the lens to frame the ancient stones against the rising sun. Click. The first shot was nothing extraordinary, the mist curling around the graves, the sun's rays piercing through in ethereal shafts. But the second shot, something was different. Click. She reviewed the image on her camera's display. There, amidst the tombstones, stood a figure, translucent yet unmistakably present. It was a young woman, her face a mask of sorrow, her eyes locked directly onto the camera lens. Holly's breath caught in her throat. She looked up from the display, scanning the graveyard, but there was no one there. Intrigued and unsettled, Holly took another photo. Click. This time, the figure was closer, her features clearer. She wore a dress from another century, her hair cascading in waves of ghostly light. Holly felt a chill run down her spine. The apparition seemed to be beckoning her. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, Holly packed up her equipment and headed to the local library. She needed to know more about the history of St. Helens and its spectral inhabitant. The librarian, a kind but reticent woman named Mrs. Dobbs, seemed unsurprised by Holly's account. "Many have seen her," Mrs. Dobbs said, her voice barely above a whisper. "She is known as Eliza. Legend has it she lost her lover to the sea and has been searching for him ever since." Holly spent the rest of the day poring over old records and newspaper clippings, piecing together Eliza's tragic story. The more she read, the more she felt a connection to the fallen spirit. As dusk fell, she decided to return to the churchyard. The graveyard was eerily silent, the only sound the crunch of Holly's boots on the gravelled path. She set up her camera again, the dim light casting long shadows. Taking a deep breath, she began to shoot. Click. 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 Each photo revealed more apparitions, not just Eliza but others, men, women, children, all with the same sorrowful expressions, all reaching out as if desperate to be seen, to be heard. Holly's heart pounded as she realized these spirits were not merely haunting the isle, they were trying to communicate. She was about to pack up when she noticed a dark shape in the background of her latest shot, a figure cloaked in shadow, its eyes glowing with malevolent intent. A shiver of dread coursed through her. She took another photo, and the figure was closer, its form more defined. It radiated an aura of malice that seemed to seep through the camera. Panic set in. Holly grabbed her gear and ran, the sensation of being pursued prickling at her neck. She didn't stop until she was back at her bed and breakfast, locking the door behind her. Breathing heavily, she reviewed the photos again. The dark figure was in every shot, its presence growing more oppressive. That night, Holly slept fitfully, haunted by dreams of the specters she had captured. In her dreams, they pleaded for her help, their voices a cacophony of despair. The dark figure loomed behind them, a predator stalking its prey. The next morning, Holly was determined to get to the bottom of the mystery. She returned to the library, confronting Mrs. Dobbs with the photos. The librarian's face paled as she glanced at the images. "The Dark One," she murmured. "It is said to be a force of evil, feeding on the souls of the lost. It uses their despair to grow stronger." Holly felt a cold knot of fear in her stomach. "How do I stop it?" Mrs. Dobbs shook her head. "No one knows. Those who have tried, they never returned." Despite the warning, Holly felt a responsibility to the spirits. She couldn't turn her back on them. That evening, she returned to the churchyard, her resolve steeled. She set up her camera, the air thick with foreboding. Click. Click. Tick. The apparitions appeared again, their forms clearer, their pleas more desperate. Holly called out, "What do you need from me?" A whisper of wind, and then, as if in answer, the spirits pointed towards the old church, its doors hanging ajar. Holly's heart raced, but she knew what she had to do. She pushed open the doors and stepped inside. The church was dark, the air heavy with age and sorrow. At the altar, the dark figure awaited, its eyes burning with hatred. Holly raised her camera, her hands trembling, and took a photo. Click. The flash illuminated the figure, revealing its grotesque form, a writhing mass of shadows and anguish. It roared, a sound that echoed with the cries of countless souls. Holly felt its pull, a force trying to drag her into the abyss. No, she screamed, fighting against it. She fumbled with her camera, setting it to video mode, and began to record. "Show me the truth," she demanded. The spirits of Eliza and the others appeared, their light contrasting sharply with the darkness. They surrounded the figure, their collective will pushing it back. Holly could feel their strength, their determination. Suddenly, a blinding light erupted from the camera, enveloping the dark figure. It shrieked, its form disintegrating into tendrils of smoke. The spirits glowed brighter, their forms becoming more solid, more real. Holly lowered the camera, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The spirits approached her, their faces serene. "Thank you," Eliza whispered, her voice like a gentle breeze. And then they were gone, leaving Holly alone in the silent church. She reviewed the footage, her hands shaking. The video showed the entire confrontation, the dark figure's defeat, and the spirit's release. It was proof of their existence and of her own bravery. As Holly left the church, the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon, she felt a profound sense of peace. She had given the spirits a voice, had helped them find their way. The Isle of Wight was no longer just a place of haunting beauty, it was a place of redemption and hope. And Holly Arnold, the phantom photographer, had captured it all. Holly the phantom photographer. Holly returned to her bed and breakfast, exhausted but victorious. She fell into a deep sleep, her dreams no longer filled with the desperate cries of the lost, but with the serene faces of those she had helped. When she awoke, she knew her work was far from over. There were more stories to uncover, more spirits to set free. But for now, she had to understand what she had captured. The next morning, Holly transferred the footage to her laptop and began editing. As she reviewed the video, she noticed details she hadn't seen before, subtle interactions between the spirits, hints of their former lives in the way they moved and looked at each other. It was a treasure trove of information, and she knew she needed to share it. Holly reached out to a trusted friend and colleague, Dr. Emily Watts, a paranormal researcher with a reputation for thorough investigation and open-mindedness. Emily agreed to meet her on the Isle of Wight immediately, intrigued by Holly's account and eager to see the evidence firsthand. Emily arrived the next day, her eyes bright with curiosity and excitement. Holly wasted no time, showing her the footage and explaining everything that had happened. "This is incredible, Holly," Emily said. "I've never seen such clear evidence of spiritual interaction, and that dark figure, it's unlike anything in our records." Holly asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Emily nodded. "If there's one, there are likely more. These entities thrive on despair and fear. We need to find a way to help the spirits before they fall prey to another one." Over the next few days, Holly and Emily delved deeper into the island's history. They visited old ruins, abandoned houses, and forgotten cemeteries, documenting their findings and capturing more ghostly apparitions on camera. Each spirit seemed to have a story, a connection to the island's past, and a lingering sense of unfinished business. In one particularly chilling encounter, they discovered the spirit of a young sailor named Thomas who had drowned during a storm. His apparition appeared at the water's edge, staring out to sea as if waiting for something or someone. Holly felt a pang of empathy for Thomas and took several photos, hoping to capture his essence and find a way to help him move on. As they continued their work, they noticed a pattern. The spirits were becoming more restless, their appearances more frequent and intense. It was as if they were gathering for something, a climactic event that would either free them or doom them to eternal torment. One evening, while reviewing their latest footage, Holly and Emily heard a knock at the door. It was Mrs. Dobbs, her face pale and her eyes wide with fear. "There's something you need to see," she said. They followed Mrs. Dobbs to the outskirts of town, to an old manor house that had been abandoned for decades. The air was thick with tension, the atmosphere oppressive. Holly set up her camera, feeling a familiar chill run down her spine. As they entered the manor, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. The spirits they had encountered were all there, gathered in the grand hall. Eliza, Thomas, and countless others, their forms flickering like candle flames in the dark. At the center of the room stood the dark figure, its eyes burning with malevolent intent. "You've come," it hissed. "You've brought them to me." Holly raised her camera. "What do you want?" The figure laughed. "I want their pain, their suffering. It feeds me, makes me stronger, and now I will consume them all." "No," Holly said. "I won't let you." Emily stepped forward. "We won't let you." The spirits began to glow. Holly and Emily stood together, drawing strength from the spirits and each other. The dark figure roared in anger, its form flickering and wavering. Holly focused her camera on the figure, capturing its every movement. "Show me the truth," she demanded. The spirits responded, their light intensifying. The dark figure screamed, its form disintegrating into wisps of shadow. The spirit's light grew brighter, filling the room with a warm, golden glow. Holly felt a surge of energy, a sense of peace and triumph. The dark figure was gone, its power shattered. The spirits began to fade, their faces serene. Eliza approached Holly, her form shimmering with light. "Thank you," she whispered. "You freed us." With that, the spirits vanished. They stood together, the weight of their ordeal settling over them. "We did it," Emily said. Holly nodded, tears in her eyes. "We did." As they left the manor, the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon. She had given the spirits a voice, had helped them find their way. The Isle of Wight was no longer just a place of haunting beauty, it was a place of redemption and hope. Holly Arnold, the phantom photographer, had captured it all. And she knew there were more stories out there, more spirits in need of help. With her camera in hand and Emily by her side, she was ready to continue her journey, to uncover the truth and shine a light in the darkest of places. Their next destination awaited, filled with unknown spirits and untold stories. And Holly was prepared to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that she was not alone. Together they would bring peace to the restless and light to the shadows. Epilogue. Months passed, and Holly's work on the Isle of Wight became the foundation of a documentary that captured the attention of people worldwide. The footage she had recorded, along with Emily's detailed research, provided undeniable evidence of the existence of spirits and the dark forces that preyed upon them. The documentary, titled Voices of the Isle, premiered to critical acclaim. Viewers were captivated by the hauntingly beautiful imagery and the compelling stories of the spirits who had found peace. Holly and Emily became celebrated figures in the paranormal community, their work inspiring others to explore and document the unseen. But Holly's journey was far from over. With Emily's unwavering support and the knowledge they had gained, they set out to other haunted locations, determined to uncover the truth and bring solace to the lost souls they encountered. Their travels took them to remote villages, ancient castles, and forgotten battlefields, each with its own unique history and spectral inhabitants. They faced new challenges, encountered darker forces, and forged deeper connections with the spirits they helped. Through it all, Holly's camera remained her trusted companion, capturing the unseen and giving voice to the voiceless. Her work became a beacon of hope for the restless spirits, a testament to the power of compassion and understanding. And as Holly and Emily continued their journey, they knew that they were not just uncovering the mysteries of the past, but also shaping a future where the unseen could finally be seen, and the lost could find their way home. In the end, Holly Arnold, the phantom photographer, had not only captured images of ghosts, but had also captured the essence of humanity, the desire to be remembered, to be understood, and to find peace. And with every click of her camera, she brought light to the shadows, one spirit at a time. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like and even better like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had or have a great day.